Evening, Rob. Anyone for tennis? Oh, we will get onto that. No two worries about that. Talk about the old tennis balls or lack of. Yes. Oh dear. I'm knackered. Absolutely knackered. Okay, let's get into it. Only one person watching. I can handle that right now. I'm absolutely knackered. I've just come back 4 days fishing. I landed 2 fish. Good evening, Shane. How you doing, bud? So I've just come back from fishing, so I'm a little bit tired. I thought, right, jump in the shower, do my hair, have a shave, make myself look gorgeous for you guys, and see how we go. Anyway, before we start, as normal, listen, I'm not looking for thousands of followers. I'm just happy with what if anybody wants to follow me, please. My name's Mike. I'm part of my YouTube channel, Fisherman's Bluez, where we talk everything Ipswich and a little bit of other championship chat as we do. So like, subscribe, little notification bell, go ding, and you'll get a notification every time I'm on. I'm not prolific, but I do like to do a post-match review on how we've played, on where we're going, what we're doing, and we can go from there. Well, let's get into it. Let's talk. Actually, before we do, let's just. Hmm. Let's have a drink of what's the name? You're good, Shane. How was fishing? Yeah, I had two out. Biggest was just bang on £20. So I was well happy. The lake's fishing a bit hard at the moment. Louis, evening Fenton. Louis Fenton, evening Mike. What an away game, set and match. Nunez. I love that, mate. I love the pun there and the link to that. Rob Smith up the Towan. Yes, well, what can we say? I mean, yesterday was let's start. Okay, so we lined up with Davis, Cipre, oh Christ, O'Shea, Furlong across the back four. And then we had Jack Taylor and Matt Siwa in the midfield, Nunez in the 10, Jaden on the left, Hurst up top, and Gelly on the right. And did they fail to produce? No, they didn't. They produced. And we will go on to obviously the goals and how they played and stuff like that. So obviously we kicked off and 80 seconds, I do believe, I think it was. A lovely bit of play from Magelli. I think their Queens Park Rangers left back is quite happily still in Agelli's pocket. I think he probably fell out on the way out of the ground. Completely turned him inside out. Took it to the byline. This is the key here. Took it to the byline, pinged a lovely little cross into Hurst. Bang, 1-0. I'm jumping on. I'm jumping off the bed, and we are winning 1-0. We nearly scored as many goals as tennis balls on the pitch at Carrot Road. Absolutely, Shane. Good evening, my old mate Colin. How are you, bud? Hope you're good. Rob says that Gelly had a great game. Where's Wally? Yep. Nice to get a convincing win. Says Louis, saw more direct play, which is what we've been crying out for. Gelly is going to be an Ipswich Town star. Colin, I hope you're right. And most of the time you are. Let's be fair. And if anybody wants to know anything about Ipswich, Colin, there's not anything I don't think that Colin doesn't know. I think he's forgotten everything that I know. That's all I'm going to say. Absolute legend of the club. And so we go 1-0. Hurst, lovely little header, keeper no chance. And then you think, why? Okay, good start. But then we go back a bit, don't we? We probably had about 15 minutes after that where we looked okay, we looked comfortable, but then little mistakes started happening. O'Shea. Oh, my days. Oh, he can have an oh shit moment, can't he? He is the tightest bramble of 2025 team. He really is at times. Times he can be brilliant, and other times he can be absolutely woeful. And it would be nice if he could just find some consistent form rather than. I mean, he got caught with a ball and turned inside out. It's just like just silly stuff. Giving the ball away, and you think, oh, come on, behave yourself. And then obviously defending for their goal was pretty poor, wasn't it? And so was the goalkeeping. Walton, I don't know what he was doing there. He should have look. The bloke hit it. Yeah, it was a fair way out as well. I think Dara O'Shite. He can be at times, Rob. I have to say he can be a bit Dara O'Shite. Scares the crap out of me. But there is times when he can defend. But it's just that consistency. And then obviously, so they're Queens Park Rangers. I think it was a number. I can't remember what number it was, but he powered that ball in towards Walton. Walton, I don't know what he was doing. It was easier. I swear to God, it was easier for him just to palm it out of play, reset, let them have a corner. Um, uh, you know, and it's just think 1-1. You think here we go again, and then what happens? We start again with a period of giving the ball away. First half petered out. And the same old stuff. Slow with the ball, slow out of possession. If you're gonna be slow when you're playing out from the back, you're gonna get punished. Okay, this is my thing about playing out from the back. It's good when it works, but it's bloody bad when it doesn't. And this is where I think the modern game has kind of lost its way a little bit because everyone's trying to play out from the back and doing it too much. There's I've said this before. When sometimes we need to we need to just be more direct sometimes. And I think at times, when we're playing out from the back and we're playing it out with some purpose, like we did, um, for her second goal, you think, yeah, that's when we can beat the press and we whip it out from the back. And Gelly gets it, Furlong on the overlap, ping, cross, bang, there it is, 3-1. And we'll get on to Nunez. Oh, what a player he's going to be for us. I kid you not. I mean, Agueli's looking good, but Nunez, I called it. I said Nunez should be playing number 10. We need creativity. We've lacked creativity. And what we've got now is Jack Taylor and Nunez has given Kieran a headache, a good headache. Because to be quite honest, Akpom hasn't done a lot in that 10 role. Smodic is effort wise, never faulting, but has not done a lot in that 10 role. And Nunez is a free kick specialist, which is something what we haven't had in the team for a while. Davis, yes, but Nunez now is a player that, when one of our forward players gets knocked over and outside the area, every team is going to go, well, hang on a minute. Oh Christ, Nunez is going to be on the ball. Obviously, Davis can take a shot. Let's catch up on some of the chat here. What we got here? Uh Will still sacked. I don't know. Will still sacked. I don't know. Yeah, like me on that. No shock there, Louis. Matisia as captain. I'd like to Matisia as captain. It seemed to me O'Shea is guaranteed start every week as captain. Yeah, I'd have to agree. I'm not convinced. I've never been convinced on O'Shea as captain. Louis says, Colin, I hope they avoid Russell Martin reunion so the budgies can take him. Rob says, in your head, Nunez. Love it. I really don't know how a way end past a health and safety certificate. It's bloody awful. Yeah, actually, there's a couple of comments on other social media channels regarding the Loftus Road. It's a bit run down, and it is, to be fair. Absolutely, we found number 10. Norwich did want still, perhaps he's replacing Manning. Watch his space. I don't know. Anyway, we'll get on to Norwich in a little while. So I'm just gonna have a sip of my cup of tea. Mm. So let's get into it. Second half kicks off. Jaden gets fouled. Some people going, "Oh, hang on a minute, that was a great. Oh, it was a little bit soft. Yeah, it was a little bit soft, but look, free kicks given. Then they defend it. Um, Now for me, I think the goalie tried to guess that Nunez was going to go to his right, and I think if you just watch him, but just as Nunez strikes the ball, um, their keeper steps to the right and steps to the right, and before you know it, the ball's gone to his left, and that's it. He can't get it. So we go 2-1 up. Away fans are bouncing, and I have to say, credit to the away fans. That's all I could hear yesterday. It was lovely, and yet our home support has been very, very flat, very flat, and which is a bit disappointing. Colin was right behind it, goal all the way, Mike. Well, from looking at it on the telly, I think if he hadn't stepped to his right, I think he might have saved it. But you step to your right, you're already half a yard wider than where you should be, and the ball was hit with some pace, and that was always going. That was always going in once the keeper stepped to the right. So that was that, and then obviously, what's the Gelly takes the ball, links off to Furlong, dips it over. There we are. There's Hurst, Johnny on the spot, header in the ball in, bang. And this is my point. This is what I want to point, right? With regards to Ipswich and what I've been saying for a long time. You know, we don't have to keep passing back. We don't have to keep passing back. Once we get that ball on the wing, we don't have to keep passing back. You've got the option to play back, or you've got the option to get in the byline. Two of our goals yesterday come from overlap. One come from a player beating his player, um, whipping a little ball in, chipping a ball in, bang, there's Hurst's first goal. Second goal, down our right again, down there, our right, overlap from Furlong, chip it in, there's Hurst for the second goal. Hurst isn't always going to be play to the feet type play. He's a tall player, he can head the ball, you know, so let's do it. Let's get the ball to down the byline a bit more, you know? Because we can get results from that. And I think this is where it's been quite frustrating because sometimes we've got players that have just straight away come back. Burns, how many times did Burns whip a ball across? I mean, at times I used to get frustrated because Burns, bless him, sometimes he actually stood there waiting for the ball to be given to him. And I swear to God, he could have nicked one, pearled one, and made himself a jumper sometimes by the time he got the ball. And when he did get the ball, that was it. All hell went loose, you know, and the great balls across 6 yard box, no one there. Um, he used to love taking the player on and you know and beating them, you know. And we had some great balls. Same as Davis. I don't like his inverted role now. I think you just get him down the byline, play him down the left, get a ball across. You know, if they defend it, there's someone on the area to have a pot shot outside the box or just inside the box. Job done. We go away from home and we win 4-1. I mean, Nunez's second goal, blatant free kick on Jaden again, and then Nunez steps up, and I'm thinking he's going over the wall. I've looked at this about 4 or 5 times. I don't think it's going in. I don't think it's going on target until it gets the deflection. I genuinely don't think it is. I think it's actually going to go wide. But that deflection helps it. And they just because it's hit with some venom and it goes over, the keeper's got no chance. So that's 4. And you think yourself with McAtee coming on for Gelly and stuff, and then he got down the byline, whipped across up the Canaries. Burnsy, all right, bud. Yeah, Louis, you're absolutely right. We absolutely played to her strengths yesterday, and that's what we should be doing. Play to our strengths, play to the striker's strengths. Akpom, Mr. Sitter. I don't think he was expecting it. Hey, Colin, their their forms, their form sounds like a Welsh team, Welsh town, doesn't it, mate? Yeah, brilliant. So yeah, and if it had collected, that'd have been five, and who knows? But this is the thing: we've got players now. You can't drop Jack Taylor. He is, but that is the type of midfielder you want. Caduce for me is too similar to Matt Sewa. I've said this before. I think Matt Sewa or Caduce plays, and I think Jack Taylor. Um, I think he has to keep his place. We've got Watford at the weekend on Tuesday night. We've got to keep. Read some of his comments. Liam Manning, 007. Absolutely. Norwich are having an hell of a season. Oh my days, things are brilliant. All them years, 16 years of them going, yeah, 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 and now the tables are turned. They're crying and they're abusing their own fans. I tell you what I did see, which I thought was disrespectful. Well, I get that they want to have they want to have they want to have a go at the team. They want to go at the manager and go to the players. But some of the players were with their wives and they were getting abused. The kids were getting upset. I think that was a little bit bad, wasn't it? Let's be honest with you. You don't do that in front of the wives. So it is what it is, and just sums up that club really. It's a bit of a basket case. I mean, you get, like I said, you get chicken stock, you get beef stock, and then you got laughing stock in Norwich. So I mean, they're a basket case right now, aren't they? I mean, Liam Manning. I mean, he's struggling. Their owners come out and sort of pretty much said it doesn't matter if they get relegated. I'm like, and the tennis balls. Do you know what? The way the social media brought this up, I was expecting to see probably 50 tennis balls on the pitch, and there's this cracking photograph of five. That must have been all. That must. Do you know what I reckon? That was just Norwich's nappy brigade. That five had a rip round for five tennis balls. Oh look, Bonesy's with his red and white, red and white, red and white, red and white. You're top at the moment. You're flying at the moment. You ain't had no injuries. Let's see how you go. Hey, long season, Burnsy. Long season. I can't knock you, mate. You're doing well. No, Blake Burnsy is a Norwich. I nearly said Norwich fan then. Hey, no, Burnsy's a Spurs fan. He's a lifelong Spurs fan. Loves Spurs completely. He's even been to the ground. Sat there and watched concerts and stuff like that. Um, Honestly, loves Spurs, don't you, Burnsy? Um, so that's how. So they've got less points after 13 games than after 13 games than we did in the 18 when we went down. Not looking good, is it? Five balls, what a pro. And that is very true. That is very true. They've got less points than we did, and we went down when we went down in 2018, 17, 18, and I think 18, 19 season. Yeah. For me, I think Norwich are heading that way. They've got no. The biggest problem is they've got no one in that team that can create anything. They've got no one that scores any goals or anything. Carrot Road turning into a tennis centre. Yeah. There's some great memes going about Nunez with a tennis ball, which I've used on the caption of this. But yeah, very very interesting times at Norwich. I have to say, that did make me laugh. It made me laugh. But back to Ipswich. Suppork will be on the board soon. I doubt it. Okay, back to Ipswich. So Watford Tuesday night. I think there's question mark on Hurst and Davis. If Hurst is not fit and Azon's not fit, I think you probably got to go with Akpom. He's the only one that really, can play that role really. Um, Obviously, Nunez has to stay in the 10. Look, there he is. Look, all right, Spurs fan. Um, so yeah, I think if we can keep the same side, um, I mean, look, when we're on it, we look pretty decent at the back, but it's just O'Shea sometimes a little bit Titus Bramble-esque, you know. If he, like I said, we just got to get out of the blocks, play with pace, play with speed, um, you know. And as long as we do that, we'll be all right against Watford. I feel that we can get another 3 points, and I think then we could be just inside the playoffs. And who knows what can happen? I'm sat there thinking the other week, and I'm calling McKenna a clown because of because of the team he's putting out and the way that we're playing and the lackluster performance. And and to be brutally honest, maybe that was a bit harsh, but when you're paid all the big bucks and you can see the team not performing, the manager is the one that has to be will take the blame. But you also got to give credit where credit's due. He, I thought he would change it this weekend. I didn't think Jack, because every time a player's played well, he's been dropped. Cypre played well and got dropped for Greaves, who's questionable defender at best. And then you think Jack Taylor's playing well in that sort of advanced six role, sort of eight strict 6-stroke 8 role. He can put himself about, um, and um, defend and get forward. You've got Nunez, who can spray the ball, look for a pass, who's always looking to score goals, and you're always looking to, you know, forward-thinking players. Now, I genuinely think that if we can continue similar sort of team that we got, and only change it when we have to, you know, keep a settled side, and we can start putting the fear of God in some of these teams that are coming to Portman Road, and when we go away to their grounds, Yes, I know. I'll tell you, I'll speak to my old mate Cruncher. If you don't know who he is, Richard Moss. He is a good friend of mine. He does his podcast. He's quite popular over there at Suffolk Crunch. Him and I were talking, and we think maybe the Charlton game was the Bristol Rovers game, where we struggled. We were struggling, struggling, struggling. We have a shocking result. The fans are not happy, the players are not happy. Maybe they had oh blimey, we've still been sacked by Southampton. That was what Louis was on about earlier. I just oh wow, not surprised. So yeah, I think if I agree, yeah, absolutely. Like I said, if we keep set aside and stop changing things, we will go up and we will go up this league. And McKenna does deserve a bit of credit, and I'll happily give it to him. And if at the end of this season we are promoted, I'll happily come on here and say, look, I overreacted, head gone moment, but I'm a passionate town fan, have been all my life. And I can be irrational. Louis, you're right. At the end of the day, we criticise when things don't go well and we praise when it does. But at the end of the day, we're all town fans and we all want the same thing for the club to do well. Absolutely. And that's the thing, you see. We're not entitled, but when a manager is paid silly amounts of money, because it is silly amounts of money to compare to what I'm on, and I'm a manager, but not a manager of a bloody football club. But and I certainly don't get the kind of money that McKenna gets. So if things are not working out and things are not going right, and you can, as fans, you can see the problems, and you think, well, is the manager going to sort this or solve this? Absolutely, he's going to get pelters. Absolutely, he's going to get some criticism. You know, but at the same time, if he does solve the problem, or he seems to be listening to maybe the fan base, listening to his coaches, listening to the players, good managers will turn it round. And right now, things are turning a corner. You know, we lost 3-0 to Charlton. I was battering him. I'm not going to lie. And then, you know, we win against West Brom, and then we back it up against Queens Park Rangers. And you think and you think to yourself, yeah, that was a really good result. Not just the fact that we scored 4 goals, because that's great. Um, you know, I think personally, the actual second half performance yesterday warranted the 4-goal win. I thought we were fantastic at times. I thought we were brilliant. We controlled the game. We were everything I've been saying for weeks now. We were positive with our play. We were crisper with our passing. We were quicker with the ball. We were forward with the ball. We hit the byline at times. We didn't do everything down the left. We offered there a variety of things yesterday, which is the reason why. Um, it's the reason why we won that game comfortably. And like I said, you know, we as fans we see it. We see the problems. We can see the players that you know, and it does happen. You know, Caduce is not a bad player, but you you know, you sometimes it's just the old England scenario between Lampard and Gerrard. You know, every England manager tried to play them two together. They couldn't play together, not in a million years. They're just two alike, and you need variety and you need difference. There's only one. Colin says, actually, let's go back a bit here. Where are we? Are the Celtic rumours dead now? Well, I mean, yeah, I am. I would imagine so. When I first got paid to play, I got a cheque for bloody £1. That was my first hourly rate. Can you believe that? Colin was writing on Slate at that point. Sorry, Colin, I'm joking. There's only one club in East Anglia who hasn't got problems, and it certainly ain't us. Yeah, look, we haven't got problems, but I certainly felt that there was some problems within the team selection and the way we were playing, because it just wasn't very good. But now, you know, you think yourself, okay, so the Charlton was like, oh, the Bristol Rovers, and performance, and then you think, well, maybe that was the turning point for us. Maybe Kieran said, you know what, right, okay, we can't have another result like that. You know, you know. So in fairness, we go to Loftus Road and we get a result. The West Brom game was, yeah, it wasn't great, but it was a good. You know, when we get the starting point, starting blocks, we you know we got a result, and then but yesterday Queens Park Rangers in that second half specifically, we did everything that we did. It was like watching the season we got promoted. Um, from League One, from Championship to the Premier League. You know, with our player football, you know, if we're going to pass it out from the back and we're going to beat the press, then we need players to move into space, create triangles, bing bish bash bosh, up, you know, and score a goal like we did with Egeli, Furlong, Chip, Hurst back of the net. And we've seen how we can play, and we've seen when we've got creative players. Nunez reminds me of Chaplin, the way he gets a ball and sprays it and looks up and decides where he's going to go with it. He's obviously loving his football at the club. I think Kieran McKenna is going to make him a better player. Apart from injuries, I can't have another 7, 8, or 9 changes on a Tuesday night versus Watford. Do you know what, Dean? That's my biggest gripe. We you right. So I've heard a few people say, oh, you know, players can't play 3 times in a week. Bollocks. right? Absolute crap, right? We had Morsey, right, who was 28, 29, 28 when he joined us, 29, and he played near enough every game. I didn't hear anyone complaining on that. So if anyone, if any player, if Kieran McKenna say, oh, you know, they played too much, rubbish. I won't have it. I won't have it. If you're good enough to be, if you're fit enough to be on the bench, you're fit enough to start. And if you start dropping players because you're worried about players getting, if it's an injury, fine, I get that. You know, Hurst, if he's got a bit of muscle injury, yeah, you know, you got to protect that. I get that. But if not, you play every game. You try and keep the same team every game. If you can. Only time you make real big changes is like your League Cup or your FA Cup, where it doesn't really matter too much. And that's the key, I think, more than anything. You know, the best thing and most pleasing thing about yesterday was the fact that we come off that pitch and there was the Kieran McKenna song going off by the away fans, Nunez getting his, Jack Clark and his. I think there was so many different songs by the away fans being sung yesterday. It was good to hear, and it was good to, you know, them away fans that go. They just absolutely is absolutely you know, they were brilliant yesterday. Um, Right, so I used to play on a Saturday and Sunday. Yeah, again, like I say, my boy Daniel did 3 games in a week, and he said that's not hard to do. You just rest on the days you're not playing. I really hope he doesn't do loads of changes again, 2 or 3 maybe, but that's the max. I'd absolutely pissed off if Cipre is dropped on Tuesday. I have to grow. I have to agree. Mr. Fisherman, I love you. Colin, I love you too. I think it's you, yeah. I love talking to Colin. I really do. I think if we, yeah, Colin, you should go in the Hall of Fame, mate. Have your own picture in the clubhouse. That'd be brilliant. But yeah, so yeah, like I say, going on Tuesday, Watford keep the same team as best we can. Maybe 1 or 2 changes due to injuries. That has to be the priority. Yeah, Sam, I did. Yeah, I just see. Yeah, I used to. I did see that. Trevor says I used to play on a Sunday, still pissed from the Saturday night. Yeah, I've been there, done that. Oh my days. Oh God, I remember going out on an absolute lash one night, Friday night, and I was like, I wasn't expecting to be picked. Colin and Mike need to be inducted this. Me probably for the wrong reasons. I'm a bit of a quiet taste. I'm a Marmite character. Um, Brilliant. Get a room. Dean, we've got to get together and have a coffee, my man. We'll sort that out. But yeah, but yeah, I remember getting up on that Saturday morning. Got home about 4, and the game was a 10 o'clock kick-off, and I'm like playing right back. I'm thinking I should be right back in the changing rooms. That's where I should be. And I ain't gonna lie, absolute stinker. I couldn't see the ball, let no defend it. But there we are. It is what it is. You have to laugh. You have to laugh at when, you know, in the small times I played football. You just have to look back and think, well, I did my best. But then, like I say, I enjoy coaching. I do enjoy coaching. I think it's one of my things. I just don't get the time to do it these days. And you know, the way the modern game is in all this playing out from the back. When you play Sunday League and they can do it, it looks good. But these Sunday League teams and these Saturday League teams, they know when to play it out from the back, and they know when not to. And I think to myself, well, if they know, why can't our so-called top managers know that? You know, or the managers that think they can do that. I think it's just a modern way of playing. Um, But it was nice to see we had a variation of play yesterday. We weren't predictable with our play yesterday, which was brilliant. And oh, bloody hell! Sheffield Wednesday apparently have sold out Hillsborough for the Norwich City game. That's a 6-pointer, isn't it? That's a like a oh dear. Yes. Um, I had the ball and I couldn't figure out whose goal I was facing. My mate Tom used to play. My mate Tom, good friend Tom, he's in his 70s now, and he used to play for Howards and Bury. And cool. He was telling me some stories with that leather football. Remember, he come off once, and it seemed every time he had the ball, the laces were on his forehead, and I think he went for a drink afterwards, and he had literally like the lines all down here and across here where the laces of the ball hit him. So yeah, not good times, but that was proper old school football. That is proper old school football, and it's good. It's good that we can reminisce about that. And when you look at some of the pitches that they played, I was watching a game, watching something the other night. I think it was Ipswich West Brom in the 70s, and I was just looking at it thinking, Jesus, Gareth, that if that was a football pitch now, that would be called off. The ref would have called it off, you know. Talking about Cruncher, I've literally just had a message come through, and he's just let me know they're still sacked at Southampton. Ooh, bless him. So, anyway, are we all buzzing from the game yesterday? I am, and I'm pretty certain all the away fans are. We're currently sitting ninth, I think we are, with a game in hand. We win that game in hand, we go in the playoffs. If we win against Watford, we it's not going to be an easy game because they're just won 3-0, haven't they, at the weekend? So that's going to be a tough one. Dino says, "What would your lineup be for Tuesday, barring injuries?" Right, okay. If say Hurst and Davis are carrying a bit of a knock injuries, I think what we do there is we play. I think we play Ashley Young on the left because he's played left back a few times, so he can play there. Stick with the back four, back three, back the other players, Cypre, O'Shea, and Furlong. Jack Clark and Matasiwa are in the middle, Nunez in the 10, and the same pretty much. If Hurst is not fit, play Akpom, but I play the same team that finished the game. Yeah, Colin, I think, if we carry on the way we're playing right now and we carry on, with more confidence, we looked a lot more confident in that second half. We keep playing that, I think we will hit top three. I think it will be. I still fancy Coventry to go up, I have to say. Middlesbrough have had a bit of a wobble of late, but they always do start well. But Coventry, for me, are the team to beat at the moment for that top spot. They have got huge goal difference over everyone else. You know, I know they lost to Wrexham. And Kiefer Moore was on fire for Wrexham. I want Wrexham to stay up. I do like Wrexham. I've watched them all the way through. And imagine if Wrexham go from non-league to League Two to League One to Championship to Premier League. Yeah, they'll be the first team ever to do that, season by season by season by season. Imagine that. Unbelievable. Louis says, I watched the under 21s on Friday at Portman Road. If there's injuries, I wouldn't be against a couple of them making the bench tomorrow. Louis, how did they do? They drew, didn't they? They drew. I know I think they're sitting second in the Premier League, aren't they? In their Premier League, I think, from what I gather. But yeah, there is a few tasty players in the under 21s. They're looking pretty good as they're coming through. We'll have to see. Ipswich ladies, how did they get on today? Did they play today? I can't remember. Hopefully they won. They've gone up to a really tough league. They have struggled, not won many. I think they're close to the bottom of the league, but that's no disrespects to them. That's not, I'm not sitting here, saying that, oh, that's that. For me, I would like to see the ladies just survive this season in their Oh, they won. Played 10 men for the Norwich second half. Top of the league now. Is that the ladies or is that the under 21s, bud? They were absolutely just. I might be a little bit behind here. Was that the under 21s 1-1 nil? If that is a good and they were top of the league, that's under 20. Oh, brilliant! Thanks. Oh, well, that's even better then. Did the Ipswich ladies play today? Because they normally play on a Sunday, don't they? Anybody know the score on that? I'd like to see them stay in the championship, if they can, and then get build and yeah. So we're top. One against Newcastle. Lost it. Oh, damn it. Yeah, that the jump from the league below to the league they're in now is a massive jump. It really is. I think hopefully in the 4-1 today. Yeah, the problem is that is a big jump. The league that which were in the ladies were in last year to where they are now. It's a big jump. There's some really good players in that league, and I just feel that maybe Ipswich ladies need to strengthen again in Christmas when the transfer window come in, and hopefully they'll just get enough points to survive. But under 21 sitting top, take that all day long, wouldn't you? Hmm. I would say Barbrook, Mendel, Boniface, Ryan Carr stood out on Friday. Lots of potential there. Yeah, I've been hearing a lot about this Boniface. I can see them being promoted to the first team in maybe an FA Cup or a League Cup game. See how they do that. Hopefully that'll be good. The Colchester ground looked very empty. Was that a good decision? I don't know. I don't know. I think personally, the ladies should have this play the same play on the Portman Road pitch. I do, honest. I just or play on Eden Market's ground, somewhere like that. Be close to Ipswich. It's very strange. How they've got promoted and yet they're not getting the respect. Perhaps it feels like they're not getting the respect from the club that they should be getting really, because they're a fairly sort of, I guess, fairly sort of new setup, these Ipswich ladies. But I guess that's how it is really. Hey, Tractor Man, how you doing? Boniface plays left back. Could be a long term Leaf replacement. Absolutely. I think that's a good idea. I see Cameron Humphreys back on the bench yesterday. I think it'd be nice if he could get some game time, but I fear there's a few players in front of him. But like you say, it's great to talk about this club. It's great to talk about not just the is Delap a major missing for Ipswich? Yeah, I'd say that. Of course he is. Delap. Oh, I did laugh the other night. Come on, didn't he? A sub got booked, and when 10 minutes later he was sent off, second yellow. It's like his Chelsea career hasn't exactly yeah, pulled up trees at Chelsea. Has he? Harry Clark played on Friday night as well, right? Okay, because I wonder how Harry Clark's thinking right now. Does he get back into this? Does he get back into the town? Does he get back into the town first team? I just can't see it. They'll be trying to say the pitch. Yeah, the pitch is. The pitch is. What's this? This new 4G or 5G pitch, isn't it? Yeah, Sam, you're right. Neither is Amari at Forest, just bench warmer. We all knew it. I just feel there's better players than Amari on the bench. Um, Maybe we should go in for him on loan in January, but I think he's burnt his bridges with us a little bit with his attitude about leaving. Um, but he could always pick up the phone to McKenna and say, "Look, I'm really sorry how I handled myself. Can I come back and be a lone player?" But there we are. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Well. that's nearly 45 minutes of me waffling and talking shit, as some people seem to think. I want to say thank you to everyone that's joined the chat. I appreciate your time. I'm not sponsored by anyone. I'm not looking to be sponsored by anyone. But if anybody wants me to promote them, please let me know. Talking carp, Graham. Oh, love it. Love it. Can't go wrong with that, mate. Can't go wrong with that. Talking carp. Yeah. Good night. Another top fan there in Graham Tate. Right. That's me done. I will do another post match review on a Wednesday. Probably won't do after the game on Tuesday because I've got an early start Wednesday. So Wednesday night, back on here. Hopefully with another win. Hopefully we can chat more about how we're gonna get promoted. And as Colin says, let's hope that Manning and Hogg are still at the Norwich in May. You and me, Colin. I just think Norwich are an absolute basket case. I really absolutely think they are. Absolutely. And I find it funny. I absolutely find it hilarious because they think for years they thought they were the best side in East Anglia for a long time because they had a lot of sort of yo-yo from the Premier League to the Championship. So yeah, they rightly had the bragging rights for the best side, but they've never been the pride of East Anglia. They've always been a shadow club of Ipswich, and right now they're not even a shadow club. They're like a bird poo on a bit of concrete. You look at it and think, ooh, yeah, and then you walk past and ignore it. Scorecast for Tuesday night. Oh, Colin, you're going to put me on the spot here. Watford, tough old side. We can't keep a clean sheet, so I think Watford are gonna. I think my old nemesis, Mr. Brimmy Coombe. How you doing? One of my best mates, Dwayne. Just spent a few days on the bank with him, and he's just jumped on my live. Yeah, giving me abuse. It's all good. I feel that Watford are going to score because I just think they can score. I think I'm going to go 3-2 Ipswich. I think I think we'll score first. Watford will bloody equalise because that's how we do it. We'll go 2-1, 3-1, and then Watford will get one at the towards the end of the game and make it 3-2 and make the end of the game a bit spicy. So let's look at these score predictions. So we have got Collins says 3-1, 3-1 what Ipswich. I was going to start with Lisa 3-1. 3-1, good score line like that. 4-2 says Louis. Dino 2-1. Shane says 4-1. My bestest buddy Dwayne says 2-1 to who, Dwayne? Colin says 3-1. I agree. Sam agrees with me. 3-2. Well, let's see what happens. Tuesday night. Am I going? I'd like to go. I might go. I might try and go. I'm going to see how the weather's like. If it's mild, I'm going to pick my brother up and we're going to go. I think that's probably the best way to go about that. 3-2-1 to the winners. Yeah, all right. Yeah, to the winners. You got to say Ipswich, Dwayne. I know you're a Cambridge United fan. Everybody in the chat, give him a boo. He's a Cambridge United fan. Give him a boo. Do you know what I mean? That team was it League Two? I need a boo from the chat. Come on, give him a boo. No, okay, never mind. Anyway, that's me. I'm supposed to be mild. Hope so, Colin. I'll tell you what. Hey, there we are. I can't pronounce that. So Antonson says 3-2 town. Boo. There we are. Look. There we are. Look. Louis. Thanks, Louis. I appreciate it. Dwayne's giving me a boo. He needs sympathy, not booing. Absolutely. Well done, Colin. Love it. A few boos in there. Anyway, on I'm the Fisherman. This is Fisherman Blues. You lot have been stars in the chat. Thank you so much for watching my lives. Thank you for the support. Thank you for enjoying what I have to offer. Till next time, catch you soon.